We're really excited to have everybody here. I wanted to, first of all, thank you guys for coming. You're the reason we're all here. And of course, because you're here, we get to bring sponsors here, and they help pay for all the bills. So really excited to be back this year and grateful to have you again, learning and sharing and collaborating with us. So we have about 140 builders and about 100 sponsors here. Over the next couple of days, we encourage you to make meaningful connections, make tech a really strategic asset to your businesses. And sponsoring companies represent a wide variety of products, from smart appliances, property management solutions, tankless water heaters, wiring enclosures, a lot of LED lighting, electrical devices, HVAC, Wi-Fi, etc. In the general session, boardroom presentations and one-on-ones, and the networking events, we encourage you to seek out the products and the programs and people who can help you with your goals. I always think that this event does a couple things, and when we put these sessions together, they're with a couple of constituents. One, you. What are the things that you need to do or should be considering as emerging trends in building homes? And what should you expect from your vendors to help you deliver those cool, innovative solutions? With that, we try to help our vendors know what you guys expect, deliver you the things you need to capitalize on their offers, either make it a standard, increase the sell-through on an option, and putting those two things together, we're trying to make a better marketplace for everybody, and really ultimately the people that live in your homes. Right? That's what we're trying to do, is make them just love where they live, thank you for it, and we're all trying to work together to make that happen. So today, our sponsor in this wellness session is Broan, and I'd like to invite to the stage Edwin Vender. He's Vice President of Marketing, and he runs the whole Overture program, which is their new connected air solution, and he's going to give us a little introduction. Edwin?
Thank you, Joe. Hello, everybody, and thank you for taking the time to come here this afternoon. I see some friendly faces here, a few folks that have been around to a couple of these shows. This is something I love talking about. I grew up in Chicago, then I moved down to Georgia. It slowed me down a little bit. Then I moved back to Illinois, and now my pace of my speech gets a little bit faster again, so if I get too fast, somebody give me a slow down. How you guys will define the future of healthy homes. It's a very, very important topic. In fact, it is at the very beginning of it. It's only going to get more and more important as we move forward. Our brand purpose is that better quality of air means better quality of life. That's what we focus in on. We're not going outside our lanes with that. We're not trying to be everything to everybody. We want to focus very, very directly on that and develop the products that are going to be the most useful to deliver the best air all the time. You have probably heard this from 100 people. You spend 90% of your time indoors. But do you know if the air that you're breathing at home is clean and healthy? And let me tell you something. You'll see it in just a little bit. It's not because of what you guys do, because you guys build really frickin' well. It's what happens afterwards. And that's what we have to help the homeowner understand. So, just to help you think about this a little bit more clearly, one of these represents the weight of food you consume every day. One of these represents the weight of water you consume every day. And one of these represents the weight of air you consume every day. Somebody give me a guess as to which one is the air. 35 pounds. 25,000 breaths happen every single day. So if you want to improve your health, one of the things you've got to be thinking about is, how do I improve my indoor air quality? Or stop breathing. That's not so good for improving the quality of your life, though. So what's the problem? Y'all, all builders, you know about this. The focus on energy savings is causing houses to be built tighter and tighter every single day. But that's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. It's great for the consumer. But it's kind of like putting a big bag over the house And now what we have to do is poke strategic filtered fresh air holes into that bag to make sure that we're getting air in and out and exchanging it throughout the course of the day. And with the things that we are typically talking about here, we're not covering everything. What we talk about are things like CO2, PM2.5, humidity, VOCs. These are the things that are getting trapped in the house more and more and are leading to situations like CO2 is a little bit less learning capability. VOCs, a little bit more, kind of poisonous. PM2.5 is the dust that gets into your lungs and transmits between your lung membranes and gathers over time and doesn't help you to be any healthier. And we all know about humidity. One of the things we learned a lot during the pandemic, though, is while everybody thinks a lot about getting humidity out and high humidity, one of the things we learned very clearly is that low humidity is also a breeding ground for viruses. You know this from what happens in all of y'all's homes during the winter period of time, but if that is happening in the house every single day, not a good thing. But the changes in lifestyles is the bigger thing that's happened. The focus on health and what we're talking about here, we didn't start this program 2 years ago. This was coming way before that because the things I just showed you have nothing to do with the pandemic. But what's changed are things like pets in the home. My father-in-law never had his pet, never came in-house. He called it an outside dog. That's what it was. Cats and dogs give up about 2 to 3 times more pollution than people. No code is going to adjust for that kind of situation. No code is going to adjust for the type of wolf range that you put into the home that might be giving off VOCs. So these are the things that are changes in lifestyle, and God bless my children, but man, if I can't get them to turn on the bath fan in the morning when they take a shower, and then if I finally break through and get them to do it, what don't they do? They don't turn it off. So now I'm wasting energy, right? So let's be need-based. Let's make sure we activate these things that are in the house that were designed to work, that y'all are putting in there already. Let's activate them based on what's happening in the house and the conditions. Parks and Associates is a very well-known research group out of Dallas that looks at IoT and smart home adoption within the building industry. They recently gave a presentation at BDX two weeks ago. They talked about 67% of people have a chronic condition. 20% of people, or caregivers, put a monitor into a loved one's homes. So it's coming. The question I asked at the beginning of do you know, people are asking questions. People are bringing things after the effect. Your ability to know going into it becomes very, very powerful for you guys to say, I've got something better. Do builders care? I know you care. I travel all over the country every single week. It's not a question of do you care, it's how do I do it? Is it robust? Can I depend on it? How do I know it's actually going to work? Do you have proof? Those are the questions that are asked of me, not whether you care or not. Every single builder I've been to over the last 9 months has said immediately, I know somebody who could use that. I know somebody who would be interested in that solution. You all know what's going on out there. So, is there a solution? Look, information is good. There's a lot of monitors that homeowners can buy after they move into the house. But that's information. So let's take a look at a piece of the industry in comfort and how it changed over time. A thermometer is information. At one time, you could put a thermometer in your house. You could open a door, you could open a window, you could put a fan on when it got too hot. That's information. Activation is using the devices to turn on what you already want, what you already know. It's a very simple process. You just have to design it in. We have a great builder down in the Houston area who said, I've got people that come in every single day with panels of what they want. They got the picture of the bathroom. They got the picture of the living room. Nobody comes in asking about what is the indoor air quality system that they want. But they expect it. And what he does is he shows them in their existing house what their indoor air quality is and says, I can build you a better house. And then that's why they make that switch. So in our space, indoor air quality, information is good. But activation is better. You're not using any special equipment. If you're using ERVs, range hoods, bath fans, you're tying them all together and you're just activating them based on need or based on spot loading. How it works is very, very simple. You've got sensors connected to switches, connected to ERV, and it's basically telling them turn on or not, push in fresh air, get rid of bad air based on the conditions in that room. It's app-based, so it makes it very, very easy for the homeowner to see the information. But we also understand that this is one piece of the puzzle. For a healthy home, there are other pieces like air, water that come into this. We're going to stay in our lane, and we've developed this as an open API system that is already integrated with Elan. It will be integrated with Control4, Broan in the next month or so, and more platforms, because we know there will be multiple things that need to come together, and we are not going to be the sole proprietor of all that information. But we do want to make sure we're very, very easy for you and your teams to integrate into the process. So, we talked a little bit about this. Why hasn't it been solved? There is a problem. Homeowners are not used to what they see and feel, or what they can see and feel. There was a recent study that showed that homeowners were willing to accept 4 times higher PM 2.5 than the WHO upper limit. That's when they started to feel uncomfortable. But they're taking all that stuff in. Let's do better. And the solution requires planning. We know it takes the mechanical system is at the front end, and we have to link this all together. So we can't just do it at the last moment. It has to come at the beginning. We had a national builder at the TecHome Summit here in Louisville say that when they brought the technical person into the front end of the process, meeting with homeowners, their average sales price for a home went up over $100,000. That's what happens when you make people aware of what the opportunities are, you let them know about how it's going to affect them, and I'm telling you, nobody's going to give up on health. We know people care about the problem, they just don't always know the magnitude, and they don't know how to solve it. They're relying on you, they're relying on me, they're relying on all of us to help them understand it. There is a solution. Monitoring and activation is the answer. It's how you're going to make sure that the stuff that you put into the house is actually used and brings the best possible life to the homeowner. So I always do this because it's all of us. There's 4 fingers in the literal sense, right? You always talk about one finger pointing out, there's 4 back to me. My job is to make people aware of what the opportunities are. I want you all to know that there's something out there. We'd love to talk with you about it if you have a chance. And ultimately, it comes back to this. You spend around 90% of your time indoors. 3 years ago, about 60% of that 90% was spent in an office building somewhere. Now, 90% of your time is spent in your home. Your kids are in your home, you're in a home office, you got dogs laying at your feet. All of this is being put together in a home. And you need to know what your home looks like. So, with that, I'll pass it on to our next presenter, and thank you all very much.